It's the car of a lifetime. It took him all year to build it.
Hell, I'm gonna drive that thing right up to General Motors' front door.
One night to lose it.
Hey, that's my car! You stole my car!
And the whole summer to get it back. MGM presents Corvette Summer.
Somebody stole my Stingray and the word's out it's in Vegas.
You got a Corvette?
Starring Mark Hamill, who's back from Star Wars.
Oh, yeah!
And Annie Potts, who's out of this world.
You're gonna spend the night. Comprende, amigo?
If he knew as much about girls as he does about cars, he wouldn't be so nervous.
Peel off them duds, sailor, and let me see what you got.
Sure.
And if she knew as much about cars as she does about boys,
What do you drink?
she wouldn't be so jealous.
Motor oil?
And if you knew as much as they know about this candy apple metal flake Corvette, you'd be chasing it too.
I'm helping you, dope. I'm helping you find your car.
You run up against a car thief, you're liable to wind up at the bottom of Lake Mead.
He's into fast cars.
Why don't you write a letter to the car? Dear car.
She's into black velvet.
Beg your pardon?
I mean, wow!
Together, they find love,
You have no right to take me anywhere.
excitement, and danger. On the trail of a stolen Corvette.
Stop this car! Stop it! I'm getting out!
Oh, no, you're not.
Mark Hamill, Annie Potts. It's the girl,
You're insane!
the car, and the time that separates the men from the boys. Corvette Summer,
It's a terrific car.
a fiberglass romance.
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to another movie review. And this review is going to be on Corvette Summer, which was released in 1978. And the film stars Mark Hamill and Annie Potts. Also features Eugene Roche, William Bryant, Richard McKenzie, Kim Milford, Danny Bonaducci, and also Dick Miller. Now, Corvette Summer, I just got done watching the film, and I thought it was a very fun film. I really enjoyed it. Very underrated film, in my opinion. This was Mark Hamill's first screen appearance after portraying Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, because this film came out a year after Star Wars. But basically what the film is about is Kenny Dantley, who is played by Mark Hamill. He's a guy who loves cars, and he's a senior, and for his shop class, they go to the scrapyard, and Mark Hamill's character ends up rescuing a Corvette Stingray from a car crusher, and pretty much Mark Hamill ends up rebuilding it as a right-hand drive car, and, the car's red, has, it's flashy. And, they take it out on the road, him and his buddies, and also, his teacher, who is played by Eugene Roche. And Danny Bonaducci's character, Coots, ends up, driving it, and, he goes to pick up some drinks, and we find out that the car was stolen. So, Mark Hamill's character ends up hearing that the car turned up in Las Vegas. So Mark Hamill's character sets out to go to Vegas to look for the car, and on the way, he meets this girl named Vanessa, who is played by Annie Potts, who is pretty much basically a drifter, and she pretty much is basically, described as a prostitute trainee. So basically, it follows them. Their characters have a love-hate relationship with each other, but as the film progresses, Mark Hamill, takes a liking to, Annie Potts' character. And, there's one scene where Annie Potts' character gets a job at like this fast food place in order to help, Mark Hamill, get his, Stingray back. And we find out that the car is in a local garage, and the owner, Wayne Lowry, who's played by Kim Milford, has the car, and pretty much basically, his Mark Hamill's teacher ends up admitting that he arranged for the car to be stolen because of, his low earnings that he's getting as a teacher. And that's pretty much basically, what the plot to the film is about. Mark Hamill's character going to Vegas, getting the Stingray back, the Corvette Stingray back. But really fun film. This is very underrated. Mark Hamill's character as Kenny, very likable character. You could tell that, he really loves cars, and, he he helps rebuilds, the Stingray car. And, at points, he's getting, a job, just trying to, find where the car is going so he could get his hands, back on it and chase, it down, for, whoever, is driving the car, which we know is played by Kim Milford. But Annie Potts, I thought she did, pretty well as Vanessa. Like I said, Mark Hamill and Annie Potts' characters, they have a love-hate relationship, as we see in the film. But as the film progresses, Mark Hamill's character ends up taking a liking to her. Wayne Lowry, as played by Kim Milford, he's the main, villain of the film. Thought, he did a pretty decent job. There's a point where later on where Mark Hamill gets the car, Kim Milford's character, Wayne, ends up chasing after him. And, the shots of, them going over the freeway, I thought it was pretty, good filmed, pretty greatly filmed. Dick Miller has a, little cameo appearance, there in the film. But I thought, the story was, interesting. Really liked how the way it was filmed in Vegas. So you saw all the casinos and, everything there. But it's a very underrated film, and it's one to check out. It's very fun. If you're a fan of Mark Hamill, this is a film that, not too many people, mention or talk about. Like, with Mark Hamill stuff, they all talk about, Luke Skywalker, Star Wars. They talk about, him as the voice in the Joker in Batman the Animated Series. Also, people, talk about, him as the villain in The Flash, the Trickster, which he was really good in that role as the Trickster. But Corvette Summer, fun film. Definitely, check it out, if you're a fan of Mark Hamill. And when the film came out, it did really good at the box office for the small budget that it had. It had a budget of $1.7 million, and it made $36 million worldwide, at the box office. There were two Corvettes that were made for the film, main car and a backup model. That was built. The backup car remained here in the U.S., was owned for a while by Mike Yeager of Mid-America Motor Works in Illinois, and was on display there between periodic car shows. He then sold the car to a private collector in late 2009, and the car remains in the U.S. with a private collector. So these Corvettes, like I said, two were made for the film. They were both built for MGM by Quirky's Custom Studios. The main car was often displayed during the film's publicity tour, Both cars were later sold by MGM to private parties. But the car, I thought, it looked cool in the film, but, kind of makes it look like, something that Hot Wheels, would create, for, their Hot Wheel toys. And also, Annie Potts was nominated for a Golden Globe for this film. And this was her first film role, which is pretty cool. But check out Corvette Summer. Very fun film. Really enjoyed it. So definitely give it a watch. But anyways, that's it for my review of Corvette Summer. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow for the Dynamite review. So, see you all then.